Andy.
Hello.
You came.
I did.
Comrade from Pittsburgh.
A lot of people who put out even these papers, even alternatives, even who would put out or not put out Dan Perkins cartoons, are concerned about what kids may see, because they could pick this up at the supermarket with anyone else. You're a father and a journalist, and I wonder if you'd comment on us constraining or restraining what we put in the paper because kids might see it.
Ah, yes. A lot too much is done in this country in the name of protecting children. I mean, in other words, I think a lot of grown-up life, so to speak, is being infantilized in the name of protecting children. One of my flags goes up straight away when I read that something has to be done to protect the kiddie winks. This is partly from a rooted objection I have to being treated like one, which is happening more and more to me. I mean, go to the airport, never mind showing a photo ID, did you pack your own bags? No, I got a chap who does that for me. No, federal law says it's a criminal offense to try and be funny at this point. Okay. Well, did anyone give you anything to bring to the airport today? Yeah. Who's going to see it? It's ridiculous. And it's also, obviously, it's clearly dulling the minds of the people who are in charge of security. It's positively dangerous. Yet it's enforceable at law, right? And this is all treating adults like children, but not in the name of protecting the kids, but still. The internet they want to police the internet now to protect the children. They want to do all kinds of things to protect the children. I say the hell with it. The children I know all know a great deal more than I knew at their age. I get asked questions by my son that I wouldn't have known to ask my father, let alone dared. I'm impressed. I think they may have a much better time than we did as a result, getting rid of certain of the burdens of innocence. And it goes to the national obsession with innocence. I read the other day that Frank Sinatra's life was a narrative of America's loss of innocence. The time before that, it was Robert Redford's film Quiz Show that testified to the country's loss of innocence. I'm doing a piece on this. America's innocence was lost in the Civil War, in the Spanish-American War, in the First World War, during the Depression, at Hiroshima, at Nagasaki, in Vietnam, by McCarthyism, and at Watergate, at least. This is a virginity that grows back with incredible speed. I'm against the infantilizing and the presumptions of innocence that go with it, and as a journalist anyway, I operate on the presumption of guilt, which I think is the only presumption our profession can bring to its labor. So, I'm as quick as anyone else to protest, and I have often, when video stores or newsagents or convenience stores stack the really rough stuff at children's eye level. You should see me do it. I've got people to move things really quickly, and without threatening to bring in the law, though I would certainly have done it. And a law against that kind of display is easily enforced, or local ordinance. That is absolutely never what the people who claim to be speaking for our children are on about. Never, ever, ever, ever. What they want is to get Nabokov and Tom Tomorrow. That's what they want, and that's what they must not be allowed. And they must not be allowed the first presumption of their onslaught, which is that their real interest is in protecting the young. Their real interest is in, why, after all, why don't they call for prayer in the trains? Or prayer on the stock exchange, right? Or prayer in the compulsory prayer for the armed forces? Or in the boardroom, somewhere where, if it does any good, which I don't think, I think like holy water, it may not do any good, doesn't do any harm. But if it did do any good, it might really come in handy. No, they want it in the schools. Why do you think they want it in the schools? Because they want a captive audience, and they want an audience they can mold and they can form, and they're not going to be allowed to have it. And we're going to tell them to get right out of here every time they try.